Welcome to the Inner Table, the art of living well. And before we go any further, I will say that for our listeners, our amazing sponsors are offering a bit of a discount on their incredible product. More of that at the end of the episode. And this episode is brought to you by Coravan. Save a life one perfect glass of wine at the time. With Coravan's Wine by the Glass system, you're free to enjoy any wine at any time in any amount, whether you love bold reds, refreshing whites, or sparkling wines. And that all sounds great to me. But first, who are we?
Well, I am Anna Lancaster. I'm a clinical hypnotherapist and an expert at reprogramming the mind. I also am a big advocate for mental longevity because I do believe it is the foundation of biohacking. By day, you'll find me regulating nervous systems, upgrading people's lives to make them the best version of themselves, both in Chelsea and globally around the world. However, I don't just focus on wellness and well-being because I like the nicer things in life. I do love a glass of wine, a very fine wine. I love community. I love being at the table. I love the way we're looking into longevity and Brian Johnson's doing his whole don't die mentality. However,
Don't die.
don't
Simple.
die. But I'm not quite as subscribed to that. I like more about the blue zones. I like the living where they live, if you know about the blue zones, for a really long period of time, but with happiness, connection, joy, family, food, all of those. So,
And wine, right?
and wine. It's all a little bit of wine. So over to you with that one, Libs.
Yeah, so I'm Libby Brody. I am, I guess, the glutton of this podcast, but I have a consultancy, Backers and Brody Wine Consultancy. I'm a certified wine consultant, a columnist for CDM. I'm a writer, presenter, judge, and host at all things wine, booze, food, and a bit of travel as well. And I guess I'm an Epicurean, but I also want to live a better, healthier, longer life like we all do. I just don't want to do it like a Spartan. I don't want to do it in a joyless box. I basically, what is the point of having a long life without pleasure? And so what we've done with this podcast, we've come together
Mm.
as very good friends who enjoy a glass or two of wine and also want to live better. And we're talking with our incredible guest, and we have someone very special lined up for you today, which I cannot wait. We're going to get on to him and all his news and gossip soon. But we are going to be talking with our guests about really what is the art of living well, all signs of wellness. What is the art of living well? So we have with us Nick Eade, who is a friend to us both and also one of the UK's, I say, leading brand and culture experts. Over the last 25 years, he has founded East of Eden PR, he has founded the Style for Stroke Foundation, and he co-founded the Joyfulness Studios, which is just something that sounds, I'm all about that. You've probably already recognised him from ITV's Lorraine, BBC London. He's also in Hello Magazine, the Daily Mail, Tatler, basically everywhere and anywhere regularly. And he's huge in charity, hosting and creating events like the Global Gift Gala, which is tricky to say after a few glasses, but I managed it. So thank you so much for being with us here today, Nick.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I love what you're saying about actually the balance between wellness
Mm.
and still having
Mm.
fun and entertaining. It's so
Yeah.
important. I think since I turned 50, I really realized that actually that was something I need to think about
Mm.
more. And I've enjoyed this journey more
Mm.
because of it.
Yeah, I think it is something when you get to those ages, certainly as a woman myself, and how hormones hit with alcohol, you have to be a bit more careful about those
Yes.
things.
Well, but we do love a glass.
We
However,
do.
this particular bottle that I'm opening for you right now is, well, this is partly because it's your friend.
Yes,
It's
a
your
friend, but
friend.
also it's actually tastes really good. So I'm running London Marathon,
Mm.
second year to do it. I don't know why I'm doing it. It really is a midlife crisis, but I also want to raise some money for charity, and it's good for your health. It keeps the weight off. And I love wine, but I decided I need to stop drinking so much. So the best thing I found was Kylie. She's the most brilliant sparkling 0%, tastes fabulous. I mean, you're the expert.
Is there anything this woman cannot do? I don't think so. So basically, yes, this is Kylie 0%. What's interesting about this, not only is it absolutely fabulous, as you say, but they've taken grapes, but they've added in, I'm going to pass this around so you
Ooh.
can pour it as well. They've added in some green tea extract, which gives it that tannin and that grip you would find naturally in an alcohol. You find it in the grape skins there. So they put that in there with the grape blend and some obviously some water as well. And they've created this really beautiful sparkling wine. And what she's done for actually wine is incredible in general. I mean, people talk about celebrity brands and some people aren't very keen on them in the wine world. I think that's absolutely ridiculous because for me, I am all for anything that gets people interested and a foot through the wine door. And this is obviously her non-alcoholic version, but that's the point, isn't it? The point is you can really enjoy a gorgeous lunch with a load of red wine, and then you could be doing a marathon. I mean, you could be
Exactly.
doing a marathon. I'm not going to do a marathon. You could be doing a marathon, and you want to take a break and have something that's also delicious. So cheers.
Cheers,
Cheers,
everyone.
guys.
Cheers.
And if you
We're
wouldn't mind
cheersing.
passing me that bottle down,
Yeah.
I am
Yes.
going to actually be using the Coravan sparkling system to actually retain
Oh,
the sparkle. I
fantastic.
know.
There we
It's
go.
so clever.
Ooh.
So Coravan has a number of different systems, but this one is actually specifically because it's hard to keep the bubbles
Oh,
in.
for sparkles. I love
So
that.
exactly. So you basically pop this on to keep it in there, and then after I
It's
slide it
so
over there,
simple to
it really.
use.
So basically,
Oh,
add this,
okay.
and then look at this little green light. I just push it down. See, it goes red,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
basically it tells it goes green again when that bottle is filled with the gas,
So
and that's
that
going to.
keeps it as fresh
And
as it
guess
was when you
how
opened it.
guess
gonna
how
be
long it lasts.
It's going to be
Nick?
sparkling. Guess
How
how
long?
many?
Guess how.
Well, I
I mean-
mean, with me, the drink would go immediately. But I mean, let's say a day, a couple of days.
A minimum of 4 weeks, and I had
Yeah.
lunch with the founder of Coravan,
Okay,
and he
that's
had one that was
amazing.
like over a year,
Okay.
and it keeps it sparkling. So I really think this is a tremendous piece of kit, and 20% off.
And
if you used
Coravan,
it.
I'm definitely going to get one of those.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Anyway, cheers.
Cheers.
Very
Cheers,
much.
guys.
The Kylie wine, what's crazy, and you're talking about celebrity wines, and obviously I do lots of stuff with celebs. Kylie wine, they've sold nearly 25 million
You're
bottles of her wine, mainly the rosés, but it just shows, like you say, if you do it right and it tastes good and it looks good, those bottles are gorgeous with little hearts on them.
Yeah.
It feels like it's elevating a brand, and you don't feel embarrassed because listen, if I was to pour some celebrity wines, I'd feel a bit naff. I mean, there's Dolly Parton one, and I feel a bit like that's quite camp, and maybe only do that when I'm watching Eurovision.
You don't like camp?
But I do love. Hello, have you met
Hang
me?
on,
I'm wearing a lemon top, girl.
You look
But
gorgeous.
I mean, and my dog's called
Your
Beverly
dog
Hills.
and your dog's matching. The dog's outfit is matching her outfit.
I must
okay.
But I
say-
think that you feel actually I've got Kylie wine, and you feel there's some bragging rights there, whereas I think before with celebrity wines there wasn't.
100%.
So you're friendly with Kylie. I have a bit of a Kylie story where I slightly, well, not for the first time nor the last, embarrassed myself slightly because I was I was delighted to receive an invitation to drinks with Kylie, and it said personal invitation. I thought, well, yeah, right. And I turned up to Annabelle's, and she was there, and she was so lovely, and I was walked to meet her, and I presumed I was being invited as a wine journalist to talk about her wine, so I grilled this poor lady for 8 minutes, like, so why did you go for a prosecco rather than traditional muscle bar? How much time are you actually spending with the winery? And I thought, wow, I'm really getting a lot of time with her, and she was so polite, she was so lovely, she was so gorgeous, and after about 8 minutes, I had the realization when this cake came out that it was her birthday party, and it was really a small do, and it was her birthday party, and I sort of turned to someone and went, "Is this her birthday?" And they went, "Yeah, we all know her. We bought presents." And I thought,
Oh,
I've made a horrible mistake. So I did go up to her after and say, "I'm so sorry that I grilled you about the wine. Which is delicious, by the way. It was
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. But I thought this was work." And she went, "No, it's my birthday." And then we ended up talking about Jason Donovan, texting her that morning. And I thought to myself, I'm eating cake with Kylie.
Kylie,
Jason.
cake with
my,
Kylie.
My schoolgirl self is having kittens.
On her
It
birthday.
was amazing.
Drinking her wine.
But you know all the celebrities,
Yeah.
don't you? I mean, you know everyone there is to know.
I know a few people, but it's always been through work or just actually knowing them, and charity work especially. So obviously people like Eva Longoria, who I'm very good friends with, I do all her charity
she's
work for her.
looking
Oh my God, she
fabulous
looks
right
amazing.
now.
She literally has definitely got a painting in her closet because I think
Dorian
there's something
Gray.
going on, Dorian Gray. But it's interesting because people say, "Oh, you're a friend of the stars." It's like I'm friendly with them because I've got a great connection with them. You remember I did a show called Project Catwalk, which was a really big show, and that was with Kelly Osbourne, and it was one of those things that really sort of changed everything. And at the same time, I was doing all my charity work, and I still do. And I've got this charity called Star for Stroke. So I basically ask celebs to help me with promote stroke awareness using these fashion brands and t-shirts, etc. And so the ask was always a really genuine ask. It wasn't, it was before kind of influencing. It was just genuinely, can you help, can you wear it, take a picture if you can, or come and do a shoot. And so everybody was so pleased to do it, and I've just kept friends with them because why wouldn't you? Because that's how you are. If you're good friends with people, then you'll keep in touch with them.
That's fabulous. And which celebrities are particularly keen on this sort of charitable work that you do?
I mean, obviously Eva's a huge charity campaigner. People like Vanessa Williams, who's starring in Devil Wears Prada, she's a
Love
really
her.
good at her charity work and stuff. But obviously Emilia Clarke, we did the Global Gift Gala last year with her because she has a charity called Same You, which is for brain injury, because she had a stroke
She
during
did in Game of
Game of
Thrones,
Thrones.
didn't
Yeah.
she?
Yeah.
So, for her, and especially for what I do, felt there's a really nice synergy there.
Mm.
But, there's some amazing people who would just go above and beyond, like Lisa Snowdon, lots of the Hollywood guys as well. They're very, very aware that they can, make a difference. And also, it's
Yeah.
optically, it's really good for them. But, for me, it's all about authenticity. And I make sure that anybody that does support any charity that we work with has that authenticity. Clean Rooney is a huge supporter of Jeans for Genes, which is a charity I helped really kind of shape. And that's because her sister, unfortunately, who passed away, had a genetic disorder. So, no matter how many years in, she'll still talk about it, and she talks about it very passionately, and she'll still support. And that, I think, that longevity and that loyalty is a really nice thing to see from talent.
That's fabulous. And what got you into the charity side in the first place?
It was very well, it's quite tragic. My mum passed away when I was 23 of a stroke,
Oh
and
gosh.
it was, it was a difficult time. And I decided there and then that I wanted to make a difference because nobody had educated us of what stroke was. It wasn't something people talked about. So I put on these parties that were called A Night with Nick. And the first one I did, I was 24. I literally door stopped people who lived around me. So Patsy Palmer from
Oh, I
EastEnders
remember her.
lived around me. So did Jamie Oliver. And I literally kind of went in front of his car and said, "You're coming to my party." But every time I spoke to somebody, they actually had a stroke story. So again, it felt authentic. So I put this party on, and then I wrote, this is before like emails, I had a fax machine. I wrote this fax to this guy called Mark Moody, who used to be the editor of the entertainment editor of OK magazine and do all the parties. I'll never forget getting this fax back saying, we will cover your event. And that's really how everything kind of started. And then as the years went on, I would just literally just ask people, and people like Robbie Williams came, Kylie came, Kelly Osbourne, Kelly Rowland, anyone with a Kelly, Lorraine Kelly, they all came and supported what I was doing. And, fast forward to now, and Style for Stroke in itself is a foundation. We raise money for various different charities. We are a grant giving charity, which means that we have no overheads. It means that all the money that we give can really help support people who need stroke. So, for instance, with regards to therapy and mental health, that's one of the biggest problems with stroke survivors because they feel they've lost identity, and they also fear that they might have another one. So the NHS pays very little for any kind of support. So, if people write to us and they say we need a bit of help, we can immediately pay for a therapist to support them. And it feels so great to do. There's a stroke unit in Shoreditch where I used to live. And they're basically people from really low income who all come together, and they just said, "Look, we want to go to Southend, but we can't get there, and we need someone who's responsible to drive." So I organised, just a minibus, got them their fish and chips, probably not too healthy for them, and got them to go to Southend. Now that might have cost a few £100, but to them that's memories and so important.
That is, it's all about that creating that moment, as you say, being in the present. Anna's talked a lot about being in the present moment and creating those memories and that positive spin in the world. I mean, that's something you specialize in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the thing is we think so far in the future, or we reflect back on the past, and there's always anxiety with both of those. When you're in your present moment, enjoying it, really get enjoyment out of it. I mean, you spoke a lot last time we spoke about kindness, which is one of the things which I think makes a big difference to everybody. Just being kind, being present in the moment, and
Yeah, during lockdown, I found it really difficult to work out in my brain the idea that people were using "be kind" as I felt a bit of a weapon. It felt that kindness wasn't used in an actual way that it should be, the sort of dictionary version of how it should be, and it was used as a way of weaponizing things, and I was quite frustrated. So I decided to write this kind of basically a speech, and I called it The Revolution of Kindness. And the idea was that in the word, listen, not everybody can be kind, and you can't be kind all the time. So let's not kid ourselves that we're just like walking around going, "I'm kind, I'm kind." But I said in that word revolution, you've got the word love and you've got the word evolution. So I was very strong in my thinking that if you pepper every day with a bit of love, then you'll evolve, and then the people around you will evolve. So it's very simple, and it's just seeing those small things that you can just turn them a little bit around. When you get frustrated with your partner because they haven't done the washing up and you want to shout at them for it, just kind of swallow it and just go, is that really? I say to my husband a lot, pick your battles. Because I say that's a battle you really don't need to pick or fight. You don't need to go for that fight because it's not going to do anything for anyone. And just turn it around and think of a bit of love in it, and then then it makes it much better.
Totally.
Oh,
And
that's
it's also
beautiful.
that thing, you never know what anyone's going through.
Exactly.
When you're walking down the street, there might be a really angry person, but it's because they're going through hell at home or
Yeah,
something. So
exactly.
it's just that giving a bit of time and that for
Time,
people.
yeah.
So on to that sort of idea of what you would let go of. We
Yeah.
have a section on this called the 86. Basically, from that hospitality term, which we found out is actually from Korean fighter pilots originally,
Okay.
but it's used in hospitality now. And you say like 86 something, it means that it's off the menu. Or if you want to
Ah,
86 the people in the restaurant, like get rid of those people in
but
the
why
restaurant.
86? Why is
It's
it?
because it was a term of the Korean fighter jets.
Mm.
86 mean literally to
Oh, to
destroy.
destroy.
So when we came up with 86, we didn't know quite the death connotations, more the getting rid of connotations, but we're going to stick with it for
Because
now.
I was thinking it was 1986. I said, I can't even think about 2026. So,
So yes, it's sort of what you would let go of, and right now it can be in the world, it can be personal, but what would you get rid of right now?
well, I was thinking about two things. I think that this is ridiculous, what I'm going to say, but it's the most
Go for
frustrating thing ever. And I actually witnessed it when I was coming to see you guys in London Bridge. And that was people who have those ridiculous small suitcases that have a long sort of handle, and they're traipsing them round, and they're like they hit the
Don't look
dog's
mine.
legs. I trip over them. They don't have any spatial awareness for them. Tell me that you can't carry that because it's literally smaller than a rucksack. And that is my 86. They frustrate me more than anything, and they literally, you just can't get rid of them. And when you're in a hurry, I get the train every day. I'm like, just want to
Ban them.
86 them.
Yeah.
Get everyone a rucksack. Enough
Exactly.
of these, or a big bag. How do you feel
Or a
about
big bag, or a
suitcase?
nice, a nice big bag, but definitely not one of those.
But you're quite chic. You actually, do you
Well,
like
I've
a
never had one.
rucksack yourself?
I've actually got one because I find it
Oh.
very practical because I can put all my dog stuff in it and my
Yeah.
laptop.
It's a doggy rucksack.
So it's a doggy. It's from Coach. It's not from
Oh.
like Carrymore, and hasn't got the things I'm going to be drinking from when I'm running the marathon. Don't worry. I could put wine in those though. That would be quite nice.
That would be
Maybe.
excellent.
Maybe I'll just do that.
Well,
Take
you
some
do the
Kylie
wine
with you.
marathon
I'll
or
do the
something.
mine marathon. I
There
said,
we
Libby
go.
said this is the best way. You get all your nutrients, and it's really good because lots of sugar in it. So it'll really help you power
Exactly.
you.
Keep going. I did actually look at doing one this year myself.
A wine marathon.
A wine
A
marathon.
marathon.
I
A
love
wine
that.
marathon.
Woo.
Because you sort of every so often you stop at a chateau in France and they give you some
Love
really
it.
great wines.
Oh.
I think not everyone makes the end of the marathon. They have a sort of clean up truck that
okay.
sweeps at the end. But it would give you energy. You wouldn't
Exactly.
feel the pain. You might feel it quite a lot the next day.
I went on
But,
I went on a champagne wine marathon once, and I think literally I don't know the difference between spitting and swallowing. I just swallowed everything, and I was so drunk after like the first bottle. I was like, that's
Oh,
it.
bless
Yeah,
you.
no,
No more.
fair.
That sounds a bit rude. Sorry,
it?
girls. I
No,
apologise.
no,
It's a
okay.
different
All
kind of
welcome
podcast
here.
now.
You will note we have no spittoons
Yeah.
here. No, I'm a terrible spitter. I think no, I meant like as in wine. Not that
Yes.
I'm anyway. Let's
Yeah.
not. Oh God. But yeah, so I'm a terrible spitter. I've told you so many clumsy stories because in wine you're meant to spit them on my trade events
Yeah.
and stuff, and I'm really bad. And my worst one was at the Wine Society tasting where I waved at everyone, so I drew attention to myself, and then I leant over the spittoon. I took a sip of wine, leant over the spittoon. My sunglasses fell off my head onto the spittoon, but it happened so quickly. I was already spitting, so I spat onto my sunglasses, and then I sort of automatically put them back up onto my head, and everything I just
Oh,
spat
gosh.
just went down my face, and it was in a moment of split second. And I just thought, well, obviously,
second, you mean?
a split second.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm just made to swallow.
Yeah,
There
I
we
was going to
go.
say, there's your
That's the
reason.
That is the
conclusion.
universe telling you you're a swallower.
Exactly.
Well, well, going from that thing you wanted to get rid of, which is spitting.
No, small suitcases.
Small
suitcases.
With long things.
With the long things. What gives you joy? What gives you that moment of bliss? What brings you back to yourself?
I think, well, my dog does. I'm looking, I can
Oh,
see.
She's
heard
actually
you.
with
She
us
hears
today. She's
today.
with us in
Look.
the studio. Oh, is
Hello,
she
babe.
coming in?
Come on,
Hello.
Bev, up.
Hello. Do you want to have a little intro for
This is Beverly Hills,
Oh.
Beverly Boulevard Hills.
Beverly Boulevard
She
Hills?
is 4 and she's a Cavapuchon and she's my dream daughter.
Oh.
And she's fabulous. And she, when you can have really tough days, when you're feeling quite sad, even like, especially like during lockdown time and you're sort of stuck and you're thinking, where's the world going to come? We got her literally the week before lockdown.
Oh, wow.
She was just an angel and she still is. And so I can spend 10 minutes just looking at her and I think that's the thing that we think about. We think of scrolling as a way of relaxing, but actually it can't be relaxing because we're being triggered by it.
Yeah.
Whereas like stroking her, cuddling her, walking her and not being on my phone or not
Mhm.
thinking about something that's going on is just so grounding.
Especially with TikTok, which made a massive leap in COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a dopamine hitter. It gives you more and more dopamine because and you need more and more to get a good result. And so other things in your life don't give you as much joy and as much
Yeah.
pleasure. So things that you were saying, like go for a simple walk with her, that will give you a lot more pleasure with that delayed gratification than the scrolling through the
Mm.
different things that you go through in TikTok. I do not have it on my phone. It's one of those
I don't
things that
even, I mean, do you have it?
I
Do you
do.
use it? Do you do TikTok?
I would love to learn it better, but I don't really understand the algorithm currently. I don't really get how you find. I'm an Instagrammer. I love
Yeah.
yeah, me
Instagram,
too.
and I'm sure that dates me
No, but it's
generationally.
great. If it works for you, it works for you.
But yeah, no, the TikTok is a strange. I know so many people, younger people, who use it to actually plan events, to plan things, and go, "Oh, I plan my whole trip by TikTok." I'm like,
Yeah.
how? I don't understand.
Really?
But it is mystifying. But I do think there's a real power to pets.
Yes.
That
Yeah.
sort of that connection, and it's all about that. We talked about it a lot on the podcast, but it's all about that sort of connection that we have to something that is living. It is that
Yeah.
interaction that we
It
need to
gives you
bring us
joy.
It's
joy.
It
It
pure
gives you
does.
love, isn't
joy.
it?
It
They
just
don't
brings
want
joy.
anything from you
No,
apart from
food
love and food.
and some
Yeah.
water. But
Yeah.
and I think it's also, I think what it does it creates conversation.
Yeah.
I've just been in a restaurant. What's great about the UK now is they're much more dog friendly, which I think is
Yeah.
fantastic. I went to Dovetail, which is lovely, one hotel. It's very
Love it.
glamorous
Love
there.
Very
there.
nice.
Took Beverly there, and they treat her better than they treat me. Which I love to see. And then
Yeah.
people are coming over, and then say, "Hey, how are you?" And it's a great way of sort of creating conversation. And I think we've lost that sort of art because if she wasn't with me today,
Yeah.
I would have been looking either at my laptop or my phone. Just would have
So
been my
true.
go-to. So
Mhm.
actually,
Mhm.
this opens up so much more.
Dovetail's
Mm.
great, actually. Can you give us your top dog friendly restaurants
Oh,
in
yeah.
Yeah,
London?
Dovetail is absolutely brilliant. And the other one, which I think is great, is oh my god, is the Edition Hotel. They allow it where I saw
Oh,
you last,
yes. Well,
which is
yes.
fabulous.
I know. The morning where we talked about sake.
We talk about sake at like
Um,
9 in the morning. That was a bit crazy. And there's lots of like country hotels as well. I mean, if you go to the
Mm.
beach, you've got some brilliant. I live in Rye, and Rye is, as you know, is so beautiful,
Mm.
and literally everywhere is
we had quite a
dog
long lunch in
dog.
Rye
We just
together,
had, it
didn't
wasn't
we?
that wasn't a lunch break. That was that was a day.
That was a 24-hour
24 hours
session.
of.
I am so
Um,
We didn't have
jealous.
any Coravin there. We didn't need it because everything was gone. But if we had, we probably used it.
But Rye is beautiful. How long have you been there for?
Been there for 4 years now, 5 years.
Gorgeous
Oh.
Oh, I
place.
love it. It's so beautiful. Again, the joy you get from, I used to live in Shoreditch, from
Mm.
literally lunch break going to, I don't know, Pret a Manger and getting yourself some food.
Yeah.
Whereas now we drive 5 minutes to the sea, go for a swim, come back, and you just feel
In your lunch
so, in
break?
my lunch break.
God, you have
Wow.
integrated a lovely
know.
wellness regime there for
Yeah.
so.
Oh yeah, totally. And I think what you're saying about these sort of because it's a mini hack.
Yeah.
All that's doing is just doing something. People talk about cold plunges. Well, we've got the sea, so let's use
Yeah.
that, and the salt, and everything
Yeah.
is just so good for you.
Yeah.
No, I
Well,
completely.
it's natural, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's the
I got weirdly into wild swimming this last
Oh
year.
I know
wow,
I've seen you in
2025
your
was my
wild
swimming.
swimming.
I even went St Andrews in November at
beautiful.
dawn, but it was
In the
it was
sea,
yeah, it was damn cold.
it's
I
freezing
mean,
there.
I think they allowed us in for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
But I thought, wow, it's actually beautiful. I don't mind the cold, so I really want to continue. Maybe I'll
Well,
pop down to Rye.
come to Rye.
Probably do it before the lunch.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is.
before the
Yeah,
yeah.
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 Otherwise
Yeah,
it's
before
Gets
the
an appetite.
body's
Yeah.
washed
Although
up.
afterwards,
But,
our metabolism will be like, whoa.
Right, yeah. No, I do a lot of the cryo chambers. So 111 Skin have one
Yes.
in Harvey Nichols. You
Mhm.
go in there and it's like I did, I think, 4 minutes and it was minus God knows what. And I came out and they checked my body temperature. It's something like 17 from
Oh,
30
really?
something.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
what is meant to be good about that sudden cold?
Oh, well, apart from the fact that for women it's not meant to be as good, but it's
it's
great for
great.
skin, it's great for eczema, it's great for dopamine.
Dopamine,
Dopamine's a huge,
visceral fat as well
yeah.
that you can't see.
Oh,
It's
really?
great for your metabolism. So after lockdown, I had during when I had my COVID jab, I kind of lost quite a lot of feelings in my hands and my feet, and that's one of the side effects. And so they were like, go and do cryo, and then also obviously going in the sea. It just has made it so much better because the blood flow is so good. And then also do it on your face as well. My friend,
Yeah.
I
Do you
have
do
it
the
done.
morning ones when you
Yeah,
dunk it in the
dunk it in.
ice?
Just it honestly that you can get. I mean, this is TikTok shop, but it literally is an ice cube basin,
Yeah.
and you put them in. You put your face in. You do it for 2-3 minutes, and it just brightens everything up, and you
It
feel
does.
fantastic.
Do you do
And
it
it's
every day?
yeah, and it's just as good as going into the water.
Mm.
Is
Yeah.
it? Okay, so this is another. So I love this. I'm getting so many sort of
Hacks.
skincare
Yeah.
like ideas in this podcast already. I will definitely give that a
Yeah.
go.
It
That
brings all
sounds
the blood
brilliant.
to the face, to the
Yeah.
surface, doesn't it?
But because
So
the blood's
good.
come to the face, it's got to go somewhere else.
Mm.
So it goes all around the body. So it kind of like really, rotates around the whole
Yeah.
system. It's brilliant.
That is brilliant. Absolutely amazing. And what made you want to escape London and head to the
I think
great
it was
outdoors?
I think it was
Time.
obviously lockdown. I think looking at the world had changed. And then also thinking about work-life balance and how you can live a better life,
Yeah.
probably be more productive, but also, enjoy the space more. And I was never a country person. I love the city and I do still like adore it. But, you can go back there. It's easy. And I appreciate it potentially more. But the country is fun. And also, I suppose where I live, as you know, a lot of people love coming down there because it's such a fun
Yeah.
place to be.
And it's not far to come into London. Your
It's
commute's
50
not.
minutes. It's
That's
nothing.
nothing, is
Yeah.
it?
It's
Really.
You
great
could do that from one
restaurants.
side of London to the
Well,
other, couldn't
exactly.
you?
When I honestly, from Good Morning Britain, it's exactly the same as from Hackney to White City on a bad day as it is from
Yeah.
Rye by the
No.
sea.
No way. I
Yeah.
don't believe
It
that.
is. I promise you, it's
What?
insane because that trip used to be crazy because of all the traffic.
I
Oh
bet.
my gosh,
Don't
I'm
tell people, you'll
shocked.
be overrun with Londoners.
I know.
Yeah,
Well, they
everyone's
already
already.
are.
Yeah. Well, we
DFLs they call them. It's like we're not down from London. We are from here.
Oh, and my partner and I went because we read the article that
That's
you'd
right,
written. I was like,
yes.
oh, we're thinking of coming down. And we stayed at the Galavant. And oh my goodness, that
Oh,
place
you
is
were-
gorgeous. I mean,
you
that's
were
a
fabulous.
raving.
place to go in itself on the Canberra Sands. Absolutely stunning. The cocktails, the food, the wine, the fresh seafood, and everything you get there
Seafood.
is
Well, it
absolute
was Scallop
bliss.
Week this week, so
Oh.
everybody
it?
was yeah. So
Oh.
we've just been having our scallops and champagne.
Oh.
Kylie Minogue,
You're Kylie.
non-alcoholic.
No, scallops and champagne. No, we went. We love Kylie.
No, it's funny because I tried her normal one. I love this. I
This is
love this
great.
so much.
This is an absolute win, isn't it?
Yeah.
We actually had Elton John sparkling on before, so
Brilliant.
it is also excellent. We've got the big hitters, really,
The
don't
big
we?
hitters.
Yeah, the
because
celebrity
the Elton John's
non-sparkling.
non-alc, isn't it?
Yeah,
as well?
it's
yeah,
really
it's a blanc to
tasty
blanc.
too.
So it's fascinating to have these big names coming to the space. I absolutely love it. So sorry, just also I know you've talked about Scallop Week, which is obviously very important. Love it. But Anna, I meant to ask you before, what in your week, what have you been doing as well in wellness?
Well, not so much in my week, but in general, and something I just wanted to talk about, especially since you're here and we're talking about energy and that, is the buzzword of the time, which is NAD+, which everybody's talking about. I know, because I've seen you recently. And I was like,
Obsessed.
where you? Yeah,
I've just started it.
it's brilliant. And for anyone who doesn't know what it is, NAD is present in every one of our cells in our body. It's a coenzyme. And it's as we get older, as we age, as we have stress, it decreases until you get to the point when you hit your 40s and it drops off a cliff, basically. And it halves. And you need it in every cell in your body to survive. So by the time it goes to zero, it's goodbye time. But there are ways in which
Okay.
sorry, they're
Bit
nothing
brutal, Anna.
sinister.
My gosh.
But there are ways in which we can integrate it. And you've probably, well, some of you may have seen, Hailey Bieber and Kendall Jenner when they're like, I'm going to live forever with NAD. And there are ways that you can put it into your system. And you can do tablets, although there's limited evidence of to how that works because the molecule's quite big, so it's hard to get across the blood and digestive system. So there are two ways that I was going to recommend. Anything I recommend also today, it's not sponsored, it's stuff I use because I like it. And I personally inject, which sounds a bit dodgy, but I inject with a pen by BioAtelier.
Oh my gosh, you brought it with you.
I have brought it with me, and
Are
I
you
do
gonna-
it.
For anyone
No,
who's
but just
listening to this, go over to YouTube and watch
Yeah,
Anna
and have a look.
inject
But
herself.
I'm not going to do it here and there. But it's a pen. It's quite simple. Like I never used to like doing any of that because I found it quite squeamish. It's incredibly easy. And I do it for 3 days on, and it just gives me enough. It's that sort of thing.
Yeah, so I do one called My Peptides.
Yes, they're brilliant
Absolutely
too.
brilliant. And again, I was so worried because you're like, oh my God, I can't look at needles any. But I just basically
Is yours the pen?
get a little pen,
Yeah.
put it in. It's like, it takes no time at all. It stings a
It does a
tiny
little
bit.
bit, yeah.
But to be honest, you feel so good. And nails, hair, everything.
Absolutely.
Really?
And
Oh
you
my
feel
God,
the
you
rush of
feel.
fatigue, you feel more
It's
energized.
just brilliant.
Can you get this like on the NHS or do you have to?
You have it's pretty much private at the
Private, yeah.
It's
moment.
private. And one shot lasts for how long?
Well, I do
I do 3 days.
3 days in a row, and it
Oh,
kind of keeps
okay.
you going. But for those who don't feel good about injecting themselves,
Don't
the
love
other,
it. I
I
don't
didn't
love
think you
it.
would.
No.
I use a sublingual powder. It's something called NMN,
okay.
which essentially is the precursor to NAD.
Oh.
So it helps it grow in the cells. Now,
Okay.
NMN is very much championed by Dr. David Sinclair of Harvard University,
Okay.
who is the king of longevity. In fact, he has reversed aging by 75% in 6 weeks.
Oh, him himself?
Yeah, himself. Well, not on him, but
Oh,
in
but on
tests.
people,
He's
yeah.
got the
they've-
painting in the attic.
I know,
Yeah, he's got
exactly.
painting that. But what he has done, he's now going into human trials,
Ah, okay.
which is incredibly exciting. And he uses NMN. He puts it in a sublingual powder underneath his tongue every day. He does it with his father, who is in great health at 80. I think Dave is about 50, but looks so young.
Do you have these together?
I do. I actually do this daily, the
Okay.
NMN, and then I do those as 3-day things. But I do this daily, and I notice the difference because it is the precursor, so
Oh,
it starts to
wow.
build, and it's brilliant. And he does it, so I was like, if it's good enough for David Sinclair, who is reversing aging, it is good
Yes.
enough for me.
Oh, I might swipe that
So
in my handbag after
I
this.
use actually Youth and Earth because it's quite pure. It's
Okay.
it's good stuff.
I use
so-
I sometimes use the patches, Kind patches.
Have you?
They do a NAD Kind patch. Actually, they
Yeah.
do some really good sleep ones as well, and various different
Brilliant.
ones. But they're good too.
They're good.
Oh, really? You
Yeah.
just pop that one
Yeah,
under
you just
your...
put it on.
That's a nice
okay.
way of doing
And
Just
how
don't
much
do
are
it when
these
you're
sort of...
tanning because you get a weird patch. But
Yeah.
like, what's going on there?
It's for a good reason.
Yeah.
What are these products sort of retailing at, roughly? Do you have any
Oh
idea?
gosh, I mean the injectables are a couple of hundred.
Yeah.
They're kind of at that
Okay.
price point. The NMN, I think that's about 20 to 30, which
Okay.
is doable.
If it's going to make you live forever,
It's
I
gonna
I
make you live
think
know.
it's
forever, but
definitely
it's
worth
about
it.
your. I had a hair transplant last year,
Oh, you look
and it was
fabulous.
literally it is probably the best thing I've ever done because my confidence was really
Yeah.
low. I was just I was not in a good place, and people don't talk about it, but men suffer very badly from that kind of thing.
Mm,
And I wrote a piece about it in the Daily Mail, which got so
I
much pick up from
saw
people
that.
who wrote to me to say, "I'm so glad that you've been so honest about it." And I was like, "Listen, you spend this amount of money on a car that you're going to keep in your garage,
Yeah.
and you just want to show off.
Mm.
So actually, start spending money on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Start thinking, actually, that 200 quid
Yeah.
is probably better than the car that I'm going to be going on the big holiday I don't need to go on again to.
Yeah.
And actually, it's about investing in
Yeah.
you. You invest in everything else. Do it in yourself because you're only going to be alive for as long as you want to be
Exactly.
or are. So actually, and it's given me a whole new lease of life. And it's given me confidence. I'm getting more work and I feel happy. And I hadn't been feeling
Wow.
happy
It's
before.
about how you feel about yourself. It really is. And it can be the
Totally.
external things or it can be those internal things, but they come together and it makes such a difference.
Totally.
I tell you what, I will try these powders. I'm not quite going to go for the injectables, but how about
No,
I,
the injectable,
I
try it.
will-
Yeah,
I've
do
seen.
try
But
it.
well, how about I give it a go, and then when we come back in season 2, I can tell you
Yeah,
what.
you can let us know what you
I'll be like,
think.
has
We'll be
it
like, where is she? It's
actually-
going to be like
Yeah,
the
she'll be like,
substance. Well,
any
not that. We'll be like, where?
Okay, I've tried some powder. Now I want to talk about
Yeah, I was
my
gonna say, what's
thing
yours?
what's my thing? It's also internal. It's also the internal thing that helps me, and it's wine. So I want to talk about this because we're heading into summer. Come on, summer! It's sunny days, and it's this rosé that I have discovered that Tesco's doing. So people judge a rosé that's the only style of wine they buy with their eye, and they go for these really pale Provence rosés, which are beautiful because they're really crisp and they're really dry and they're really well made. And in fact, they were invented by a woman, Regine Sumier, and I will talk about that on another episode. But Tavel is one of the iconic regions for rosé, and it's this darker style of color. And I'm going to debunk a myth here because people think that a dark rosé is sweet. Everyone goes,
I do.
"Oh,
That is me. I was
yeah,
going to say,
always.
I am
people think, and
guilty.
I think it's because people had that really awful white Zinfandel stuff
Yeah.
when we were students, and it was the cheapest thing you get, and it was this thick, sweet.
Definitely.
But that is down to the winemaker choosing to do it. The only thing, and this is a genuine fact, I wish people would learn so they would be able to embrace and enjoy wines like this, is the fact that the only thing that gives a wine any sort of color, the only thing that gives a wine any sort of color is skin contact. If you peel a grape, a black grape or a white grape, but a black grape as well, you squeeze the grape, the juice is clear. It's how you can create a Blanc Noir champagne. Champagne is clear, but it's made with black grapes only. And so all they do is that they just macerate the juice on the skins for a bit longer to give it this, I think, beautiful color. It's like it's against my jacket here, but it's basically the color of a house party. It's
Yeah,
a
it's a
house party
rich
in your
colour.
mouth.
It's
Yeah.
lovely.
It's a rich color, but it is bone dry. It is crisp. It is
Really?
fresh. It is a
Lovely.
little bit fruity. I would love it to do like a blind tasting one day with all the different colors like Bandol and Tavel and
Yeah.
have people, because you wouldn't be, and I'd have a white Zinfandel in there for fun. And you wouldn't be able to tell. So for me, this rosé, I had it the other day with some mussels that my friend made me when she lives in Hove. We had it while we were cooking, and we had it with the mussels itself. I'm salivating already.
You are, you can
Instant,
tell.
instant response there. It was absolutely spectacular. So I think this is only £13. So it's like
Fabulous.
it's a nice
Where can you
amount to
buy it?
spend. Tesco.
Tesco is
Tesco Tavel,
brilliant.
13 quid. So that was my happy moment of the week.
Fabulous.
My little joy ritual.
Yeah, I
Do you know
love
what?
that.
I want to come to a blind tasting, so I do want to test that one out.
Yeah.
Yeah, see if you would like it just as much. Well, we have very
Mm.
opposing tastes when it
I
comes
know.
to wine. It's amazing we're still
Yeah.
friends.
I love that.
So apart from this incredible marathon, and who are you raising money for? on that?
Raising money for the Stroke Association,
Fabulous.
which will be a second year doing it for them, which will be great.
Mm.
And there's quite a few people running, so that's quite exciting. Although I never hang out with them, I just go into my little moment and
Oh,
just
really?
Good.
go on with it. Last year it was so weird because I literally, you've done it, haven't you?
Oh no,
Have you not done it?
I'm
But
not as
last-
fit
I was
as
like,
you, Nick.
what?
last year was so weird. I was like, I'm just going to make sure that every mile I'm going to take a photograph, and I did it for literally for the first 10 miles, and then I don't know what happened, but I just got to the end and I was like, how
Really?
has this happened? And I think, first of all, it's because I don't eat sweets, and basically every single person you pass is giving you some sweets.
Really?
I was probably, the sugar rush was absolutely
Yeah.
insane. And I was probably just going a bit crazy. But it was just because of the crowds. They are just,
Yeah.
it's one of those moments I never, you if you could bottle it, it would be the best fragrance in the world, or the best wine in the world.
Aw.
Because it's just people who are just coming together with one unified thing to cheer on strangers. And
Mm.
because they see your name, they'll be, come on, Nick, come on, Susan,
Yeah.
come on, Anna, come on, Libby. It's just this amazing experience, and even more so for anything, that is very special.
Yeah.
It's going back to people again. This
Yes.
keeps
It is.
coming
It
up
is.
on this. It's
I took
all
my
about
son there
people.
last year, and he got so excited,
Yes.
cheering everyone on, and they'd come and slap his
Yeah,
hand.
that's
and
loads
it was
of
so
that.
nice.
It's so nice. I love the fact that when we were told when we were younger, we said, don't take food from strangers, sweets from strangers. I took every sweet from every single stranger on the whole of those 26 miles.
But do
Oh,
you have a
bless-
music that you listen to, or are you?
Well, that's another thing that I did wrong. I actually did do the most amazing playlist, which is literally the gayest thing you've ever heard in your life. It's Britney.
Can we find
and
this on Spotify?
Gaga and Madonna and
Love
Katy
it.
Perry. But the fact of the matter is that you want to actually not have them because
Mm.
it's the cheering and the people. Also, I probably missed most of my friends. They're going, Nick, Nick, Nick. And I'm like, duh, like this.
Enjoying your
Playing on
time.
Britney.
Oh God! Did you hit any wall? Did you get to a point where you were like, this is my point, or
I
were you?
didn't hit a physical. I hit a mental wall.
Yeah, it is all the
Because
mental.
you just go, why the hell am I doing this? And then you think about why you're doing it.
Yeah.
But that's tough, that bit.
Yeah. Well,
Mm.
my tip for you, if you're doing it when you're doing it this year, your mind thinks in short spaces. So when you hit it, just think about the next 60 seconds. Don't think you've got to go all the way to that
Okay.
and shrink time, and it will
Yeah.
help you to just condense it. And before you get it, 60 seconds, 60 seconds, 60 seconds, and you forgot.
And you've gone, that's maybe what I was
Yeah.
trying to do when I was
Oh.
doing those miles.
What about what else is going on for you?
What
Mm.
else? There's a few things I can tell. I'm doing a new dating show, which is very
Ooh, I
exciting.
love this.
So we're filming that in May in Monaco.
Ooh.
And I don't think I'm allowed to tell you the title. I've been
Oh.
NDA'd up, but it's very fabulous. It's going to be very Selling Sunset, and
Oh.
I am kind of the atmosphere, and
Oh,
we
I love
have
that. I'm the
a
atmosphere.
dating expert, and I'm just helping these people who are desperately looking for love
Oh, I
find
love-
hopefully the loves of their lives. And the premise is these are all like multi-millionaires who literally have never really understood what love is, because money has come before
Yeah.
that, or their
Yeah.
material possessions. And so we're stripping them back and showing them that actually this is what love really is, and it's actually quite small rather than big
Absolutely.
gestures.
Well, if
Are
you
they
need a
all
therapist to come
Huh?
out to Monaco.
Yeah, they're all
Yeah.
multimillionaires.
All of them, so the men, the women.
No, the people we partner with, we work out. That's the matchmaking, really.
That's
So some people have got
fun.
nothing. Some people might be just brilliant chefs, and some people who the person we're matching them with has never cooked a home cooked meal before because of their lives. They've
Yeah.
never, and they want to just have normal lives. So that's very
Oh my
exciting.
gosh,
So
that's
we're filming
awesome.
that, which is great.
Yeah.
Lots of writing. I'm doing loads of writing, which I absolutely love, which is just fun for various different publications. And spreading the joy.
Oh,
We're doing something with we're creating a new brand which is all based on joy, because what we realize is that 70% of sort of the buying that you do is actually emotion led,
Oh,
but
absolutely.
people don't really measure kind of emotion. What we measure is what we see on TikTok, and we just go, right, I'll buy it. That's not an emotional buy, that's just an impulse buy. And so we're just building this new brand which is going to come out this summertime, which is all based on emotion, which is very exciting.
Oh,
I think
that's
that
so
sounds amazing.
good.
What an exciting year
Yeah, it's going to be a good
Yes.
year,
Oh, I'm
actually.
delighted you carved out some time
Oh
to
my God, I
talk
love
with
it. I love you
us.
girls.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
no, we
been
love
We need to go on a
you.
proper
We love
night
you.
out.
We
Oh,
really
we
And on
do.
no kite, we need to make sure we got
Yeah.
percentage next time.
After the
We have a
marathon.
percentage.
After the
Because,
marathon.
the
we
marathon
do
stuff.
this for one reason, then we have the lovely wine for another
Exactly.
reason, the
Fabulous.
occasional martini.
Exactly.
But yeah,
So
absolutely
where
perfect.
can people find out more about
Oh,
you if they
yes.
want to find you?
They can find me on Instagram is the best thing. That's Nick Eade, Nickede. Or just that's the best place to find me.
Great.
And thank you for having me. It's so good to see you. I
Oh,
love
well,
to hear
brilliant.
all your
Absolute
stuff as well.
Cheers,
pleasure.
cheers,
Well,
cheers.
cheers
Thank
to
you
that.
so
Thank
much.
you.
It's
Love
been a
it.
pleasure talking about wine, well-being, and having Beverly here as well, of
Oh,
course,
Bev.
with us. It's perfect. And I will just also add, for those listeners who are chomping at the bit to get one of these gorgeous Coravan systems, for 20% off, you go to coravan.com, and the code for us is ART. That's ART in all capital letters to get 20% off. So yeah, thank you so much, Nick, and thank you, Coravan, for being our sponsors. Thank you, Anna.
Thank you, Libby.
Wonderful.
And thank you,
Thank
Nick.
you.
Cheers.